Hello everyone and welcome back. We are going to continue the series of D&D 5e Monster Manual Review. We are kicking it off with the Banshee. I'm not a fan of stat blocks because here's kind of like a good representation where it's like, I don't know why Wisdom would be an 11 or Intelligence at 12 or Dexterity 14 or anything like that. Like, Strength kind of seems a bit right-ish. Like, when we think of ghost stories or stories about undead creatures, like specters, poltergeists, just anything that is an apparition, we kind of hear tales of these mystical phenomenon throwing things across the room, toppling fully stacked bookshelves that weigh probably like 200 pounds, maybe even more depending on what they're made of, and also the books that are on them. Keep in mind, I don't know the exact measurements of these things, but we hear like a lot of things, like even like messing with cars, doors, safes, tables, couches, all that stuff. But so some people might look at this and be like, oh, this poltergeist, or like, oh, this banshee or whatever, they're not strong, they can't do anything really. But it's kind of weird from someone who's like me, where we read these stories and we love these stories, even movies or shows that are based on these creatures, or figures in folklore, religion, and all that stuff, where they have these powerful abilities, and one of them is strength. Like, they are able to frickin' hurl bowling balls as if they're paper balls, like we used to do in classrooms. So now some people might say, oh, I'm reading too much into it, like I'm not just like taking a step back and making it a game. That's true and that's fair. However, there are some people like me and fans of other D&D gamers or content creators where we love to bring in folklore, religion, or some people's eyes it's called mythology, legends, fairy tales, and all that stuff. And keep in mind, there's a lot of that already in this game. Like, a huge chunk of it is. After all that, the Banshee is kind of good. It's interesting. I mean, the only gripe that I have is the incorporeal movement. Where it can move through solid things, but it will take damage. I don't think it should. I think it should just be the Banshee can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. Sure, do that, why not? But don't have it take damage. There's no reason for it, because like I said, when talking about the animated objects, the Banshee and other apparition-like creatures should get an ability where it's called possess or possession, and they can go into these solid objects like people or any kind of creature or an everyday item, like a pen or a sword or a chair, and attack people in that form, or move people with it. Imagine if you're in a rundown house or a rundown mansion, you and your allies start to lay about, and guess what? Oh no, the couch and the chairs and the chandeliers start moving on their own, and you guys are getting shoved around into different rooms, into different areas, getting knocked prone, flying into objects, into solid walls, and all that stuff. With that said, I feel like the Banshee could do without this whole thing where they're taking, damage because they end their turn inside of something. Scrap it. Corrupting touch is fine. Horrifying visage, totally fine. Wail is interesting because it is a very powerful ability. I kind of wish, going back to it, for Corrupting Touch, if they really wanted to make it really powerful and kind of change a whale, have Corrupting Touch not only do necrotic damage, but drain Constitution. Drain the Constitution ability score of players. I think that'd be really freaking good, and honestly, that'll bump the challenge rating of the Banshee to like 6. I think it'd be really, really good, because it has damage immunities, it has condition immunities, it has, dark vision, passive perception is kind of low, so, don't have to worry about that. Languages, who the hell cares? Resistances, sure. My thoughts of their resistances and immunities would be basically that they just have resistance to all, or basically immunities to all non-magical attacks. So, if the fire is not magical, if the poison isn't magical, or if anything isn't magical, and it, tries to connect or contact with the Banshee, it's not going to work. It has to be magical in order for it to make physical contact, because it's a ghost, it's an apparition, it's, you're going to walk through it or pass through it or whatever, because it's not a solid thing. Just imagine like a Banshee with Corrupting Touch literally puts their claw hand right through your chest and starts to literally attack your very soul. And you just slowly feel like the years of your life, of what could be your life, fly away. Like, wouldn't that be freaking cool? I think that'd be freaking amazing. So, I feel like that'd be nice, but other than that, Corrupting Touch is nice, it's good, it does a good amount of damage, 12 damage, that's nothing to laugh about. And it's necrotic damage. No one really has resistance or immunity to necrotic damage. I mean, there are some people that do have resistance to magical attacks or magical effects, like the Satyr. And I believe fairies do. I think fairies also have resistance to magical attacks. Something like that. I mean, I don't know if Corrupting... I might categorize Corrupting Touch as a magical attack. I'm not too sure. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. Horrifying Visage, perfect. I like it. Detect Life, good, really good. Whale, it's powerful. It is. I'm not too sure if I would have it be a one-hit kill, though. I'm not too entirely sure. I don't think I would. I think I would just leave it where if the person fails, they're just knocked unconscious with health. But they're knocked unconscious for like an hour or until someone wakes them up. I feel like that'd be pretty damn cool. Or if anything, maybe it charms them, and now they're a servant to the Banshee, or something like that. I think that'd be pretty damn cool. But other than that, yeah, my thoughts of the Banshee are basically get rid of the force damage for incorporeal movement, maybe add Constitution Drain to Corrupting Touch, don't have Whale be a one-hit kill if they fail a saving throw, maybe have it, knock them unconscious or charm them or something else. And then pretty much just change their immunities to immune to all non-magical attacks. I think that'd be pretty good. And then in like the Dungeon Master Guide and the Player's Handbook, it says like natural, like the natural elements or something, kind of just like describe how some elements can be magical and some elements don't. Like it has to be described because there are some spells that when you cast them, they are considered not magical. So that's pretty interesting. Very weird, but interesting. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Those are all my thoughts for the Banshee. Let me know down in the comment section what you think, if you agree, if you disagree, or if you just have your own kind of input in general. I would love to hear it. But that's it. Thank you so much. I will see you all in the next video, which is going to be the Basilisk Farviking Skål!